The 2020 NBA season's officially back with the 22-team format. Disney World will have their hands full with the approval of the Board of Governors. 22 total teams back in action, 13 from the West, 9 from the East, 8 regular season games played, and possibly a play-in tournament for the 8 and 9 seed. New Orleans, Portland, San Antonio, Sacramento, Phoenix, and Washington all still have a chance to make it. If the 9th seed finishes within 4 games of the 8th seed, the play-in tournament will be fascinating, giving the Grizzlies the hardest time to make the postseason. I'm not going to mention an NBA Finals matchup. It's more than likely we'll see either Lakers Bucks or Clippers Bucks, 3 teams with the best chance to win it all. Any other team to win a title would be absolutely shocking. How's it going, guys? My name's Wilson. With all the great games to come, here are 10 matchups we're all excited to see this summer. Potential first round series, Pelicans Lakers. We all know the NBA is trying to do whatever they can to get Zion in the playoffs. Him and LeBron get easily the most media coverage of any stars. Every time one of them makes a play, it's social media worthy. Of course, these 2 teams were part of the Anthony Davis trade, who forced his way to Los Angeles. While the former Lakers were labeled as huge disappointments before AD's arrival, Lonzo Ball and Brandon Ingram were once called busts, but B.I., one of the most improved players, a proven all-star this season, putting up over 24 a game. Lonzo's much improved as well. New Orleans will be the team of the future. After 19 games, 19-year-old Zion averaged 23.6 points, almost 7 rebounds in under 30 minutes, a forced down low, went at it with LeBron. AD had a monster 41 points in his first game against his former team. Even if 99% of people don't believe New Orleans will have a chance against the Lakers, every time a play happens with LeBron or Zion, it must get posted instantly. The Philadelphia 76ers and the Boston Celtics. These 2 teams have had historic rivalries dating back to the 60s. 2 young stars, Ben Simmons and Jason Tatum, for bragging rights going at it. Jaylen Brown and Tobias Harris. Tatum's been absolutely insane the last 10 games, proving why he's on his way to superstar status. The C's easily knocked off Simmons and his inconsistent performance in 2018, but Embiid will have to dominate and punish the 6'8" Daniel Tice. A matchup of bully ball bigs, Al Horford against his former team, going at it with Boston small ball, the C's biggest weakness, the center spot. It'll be up to Embiid to capitalize. The Houston Rockets and the Oklahoma City Thunder. It would be absolutely hysterical if CP3 knocks off Harden after tensions flared the end of last season. As this stands, both teams are tied with the same record, 40 and 24. Tiebreaker goes to the Thunder, a game out of the 4 seed. The 2 can very well meet as a 4 vs 5 matchup. OKC 2-1 in the season matchups. Paul continues to show why he's one of the best leaders in the NBA, still getting it done at almost 35. Westbrook couldn't get out of the first round after Durant left and will have a daunting task potentially against his former team. The Thunder traded away Harden in 2012. The 2 superstars facing the team that drafted them and traded them to Houston. Nobody thought OKC would even contend for the playoffs, but it turns out the drama filled with excitement turning into reality as the weeks inch closer. OKC's ability to put any player on the floor with depth against Harden and Westbrook, both looking to put up monster numbers while everybody else shoot threes. Nobody knows Westbrook's game as much as OKC, while no opponent's more familiar with Houston's system than Chris Paul. A defining series for Steven Adams, showing if he's worthy enough getting minutes in crunch time. The Rockets can either shock everybody by winning a title this season with their style of play and lack of defense, or just get bounced in the first round. The Milwaukee Bucks and Philadelphia 76ers. With Ben Simmons recovered from his back injury, the 2 teams met 3 times this season. First meeting, Philly's inside presence proved too much for Giannis, forcing him to shoot 8 of 27, one of his worst games all year. Embiid dominated with 31, one of the only times the Bucks were locked up this season. But in the last 2 meetings, Giannis absolutely destroyed and owned Embiid, gave him 31 on February 6th. The MVP dominated once again, putting up 36 and 20. Philly had absolutely no response. The bigs in Embiid and Giannis, 2 of the best in the East, will truly prove who's number 1. The Sixers will likely not have home court advantage in round 1. Doesn't appear to be any higher than the 4 seed. An intriguing semifinals matchup, the Utah Jazz and the Denver Nuggets. To the casual fans, this matchup won't get talked about by the media if it happens, but if you understand and appreciate the game, these 2 are as evenly matched as it gets, with third-year 2-guard Donovan Mitchell, Rudy Gobert, and Mike Conley against Nikola Jokic and Jamal Murray, a potential breakout for Michael Porter Jr. These 2 teams were supposed to play 2 more times before the season was postponed, having their ups and downs. Murray has been inconsistent at times, so has Conley. Gary Harris regressed and hasn't shown to be anywhere close to a star player. The Gobert vs Jokic matchup will tell us a lot about the best offensive big going against the two-time Defensive Player of the Year, and the fact that Gobert and Mitchell were both drafted by the Nuggets and traded right after. The two should be motivated if these two teams match up, as a 4-5 or a 3-6 very realistic. Rockets Clippers. The 4 games they played have been phenomenal. Each team won 2 of them, bringing the best out of each other. Seeing the rivalry of Westbrook and Pat Bev continues to be as polarizing as ever. Both hate each other. Seeing Kawhi Leonard guarding James Harden will be intense as well. A team heavily depending on analytics and the 3-ball against Kawhi's unstoppable go-to mid-range pull-up. An unreal matchup with high scoring. Houston was able to dominate and push the tempo, get to the basket with the Clippers' lack of inside presence. LA was finally getting everybody healthy, playing their best basketball. After a shaky, inconsistent season, one of 3 teams top 5 offensively and defensively. Harden has been known to underperform in many postseasons, a huge stain in his legacy so far. Westbrook desperately needs to win a playoff series without Durant. If Houston falls in the standings, there's a chance these teams can meet in the very first round. It doesn't seem likely the Rockets will get the 3 seed, or they can get the 6th. Clippers hold on to 2. The 2 can meet in the semis. If the Rockets hit their 3s, this series can go the distance, but if they struggle and go cold, this series can be over in 5 games. Heat Pacers. Yes, the beef between TJ Warren and Jimmy Butler should be settled, and the two will certainly give every ounce they got. After heated tensions between the two, a matchup between 2 of the very best two-way 2 guards, Butler and Victor Oladipo, the Pacers have been playing spectacular regular season ball without their shooting guard, just 13 games back after being out for over a year. And then the delay, the matchup between 2 first-time All-Stars, Domantas Sabonis, Bam Adebayo, will be intriguing. 2 fundamentally sound 5s with excellent all-around game. The Heat's depth of Kendrick Nunn, Duncan Robinson, Tyler Hero, and Andre Iguodala, very deep, very tough teams with unexpected guys capable of stepping up at any minute. 2 veteran coaches in Eric Spoelstra and Nate McMillan. Miami's 2-0 in the season series. Both teams play very slow pace, reminding us the times of good old basketball. Miles Turner will also need to step up, while Kelly Olynyk might become the most hated player amongst Pacer fans once the series said and done if the 2 match up and Miami wins. Celtics Raptors. For years, the 2 fan bases have jarred at each other. Despite being Atlantic Division foes, the teams never met in the playoffs before. The 2 worst 3 matchup. Toronto's one of the most balanced teams in the league with excellent chemistry, a much improved Pascal Siakam who looks like a superstar at times. The bragging rights at the point guard spot between Kyle Lowry and Kemba Walker, a heated debate to always bring up. Boston has the edge in terms of talent and scoring, but Toronto has a bunch of veterans on verge as many wins last season. The front line of Gasol and Ibaka can be a matchup nightmare for Boston, trying to score down low, combined with the hounding defense, pressing full court. Not many teams do that in the NBA. The Raptors won the title with Kawhi Leonard last season, while Boston was a game away from the finals 2 seasons ago. The debate between Siakam and Tatum will have many discussions. 2 players who's made the biggest leaps, must-see television. If the 2 teams play, anything short of a 7-game series would be shocking. Raptors Bucks. Giannis against the team that knocked him out of the conference finals a season ago. The MVP looked like he was going to make the finals when his team went up 2-0, had a chance winning game 3 but fell in overtime. The trees of Gasol, Siakam, Ibaka, and Leonard bothered the Greek freak. Only scored 12 points in game 3, struggled in game 6, held to 21 points. Teammate Chris Middleton also needs to step up after shooting just 41% the whole series. Eric Bledsoe was horrendous in the 6 games, averaged 10 points, 29% shooting. Even backup Fred VanVleet had a better series. A grinded defensive team, well coached by Nick Nurse, against the highly powerful offense of Coach Bud, who has a reputation for undercoaching in the postseason. He'll need to play Giannis more minutes if the Bucks want to get over the hump. Finally, the matchup we all want to see, the Clippers-Lakers. LeBron against Kawhi, Anthony Davis, and Paul George. Laker fans love talking about how great their team is, especially when they're good. Pat Bev's intensity will be shown and try to irritate everyone on the Lakers. The Clippers won the first 2 matchups this season, with Kawhi dominating opening night and Christmas. The first game wasn't close. The Christmas game a come-from-behind rally, while the Lakers won the very last meeting in March, with James Davis and Avery Bradley leading the way. Pat Bev only had 1 shot that game and still continued to talk trash. The 2 Morris twins will go at it. Danny Green played with Kawhi in San Antonio and Toronto, knows his game as well as anybody. Landry Shamet will need to hit some shots. Montrezl Harrell and Kyle Kuzma, X factors off the bench. Rondo and Reggie Jackson are show of themselves, but I'm taking Jackson right now over 34-year-old Rondo. If the Lakers can make it physical with Dwight, McGee, and Davis down low, the Clippers front line will have a difficult time defending them. But if Lou Williams gets hot and averages 20, the Lakers won't have the firepower to contain the Clippers. Leonard and George, two LA kids, with the unpopular decision playing for the Clippers. Kawhi won the individual regular season matchup so far. The Battle of LA can go down as one of the greatest conference finals matchups all time. All these decades, the Clippers have been known as the JV team of Los Angeles. Nobody wanted to play for the franchise for many years, but with current owner Steve Ballmer, the franchise's future is right now looking to end their demons. Leonard and James, two of the most reliable players in past postseasons. The NBA playoffs would be an absolute travesty if these two teams don't match up in 2020. Basketball fans deserve this. By far the most intriguing series of them all. If I had to choose who wins, I'm sticking with my preseason pick, the Los Angeles Clippers. Honorable mentions includes Mavs Nuggets, three of the best European superstars today, Luka Doncic, Nikola Jokic, and Kristaps Porzingis. What other playoff matchups do you want to see? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching this video. I love all of you. See you next time.